Did you see it? Did you see the thing?
I am absolutely blown away by this.
It's real.
They actually did it. They announced it.
Finally!
After 4 years, Universal announced Epic Universe. And it's everything I could have imagined and more. I am blown away by this.
I will say, as enthusiasts of theme parks and other related things, nothing really came as like a, whoa, we had no idea that was coming.
Oh, yeah.
However, and I tested this because I shared the news on my Facebook, the average person who is not into this stuff heavily had no idea that this was coming. And they're like,
yeah, I saw like a film page that I follow on Twitter posting about Epic Universe and had thousands of retweets and people are just like, whoa. And I'm like, you guys didn't know about this? But it's so weird when like again, we as enthusiasts, like I think about Epic Universe every day. Every day it comes to mind.
It's your Roman Empire.
Yeah.
It's mine too. This is probably going to be debatably the best theme park in the world.
It looks unreal. This concept art that they released is just stunning.
It's beautiful.
They primarily focused on the Celestial Hub, but not really the individual like lands with like How to Train Your Dragon, Dark Universe. They announced them, but we're gonna get like official details of like the rides and attractions at a later date and concept art of those lands.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so impatient.
We got like a sneak peek. It was just enough to get us just like, whoa. Because, it's under construction right now. We know how far along it is, how things are looking, but this concept art gives you an idea of what it's going to look like when it's done.
And I will say, with what has been done so far, if you guys don't already watch, Alicia Stella, Theme Park Stop, they do like amazing updates on the construction here. And if you watch them, it's actually looking like pretty identical to the concept art, which is very rare. I feel like concept art typically overpromises and the real thing underdelivers. However, I think it's going to be different with this.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have to give a huge shout out to BioReconstruct, who has been like the Epic Universe guy with like photographing this place from the air constantly.
It's like paparazzi.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Every week there's a new update, and it's just like so wild to see this thing go from literally like nothing, like a field, to now this full-fledged theme park that we're all going to be visiting next year. That's just so wild to think about.
I've never watched a theme park be built from the ground up, ever. Nothing like this. So having this being right down the street is just the craziest thing ever. Because every time I go over there to kind of like peek and see what I can see, it's like a totally different thing going on. Like they're moving so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And to actually step foot in there eventually is going to just be the most surreal thing. I'll probably cry.
I'm going to cry, yeah.
I cried watching the video this morning, so.
I know, yeah, they released it like in the morning. I'm like laying in bed. I haven't even like gotten up for the day and I'm already like, whew. This park means so much to so many people. I think this is just gonna be a game changer in every single way.
I think they're gonna set a very high standard for the future of themed entertainment.
Absolutely.
I don't know what Disney is going to do to counter this.
Nothing.
Probably nothing.
Yeah.
I do want to address a couple things that have troubled me, though, with the concept art and everything.
Shoot.
The portals, while amazing looking, I worry about crowd flow.
Oh, that was actually probably my big concern with this is bottlenecking. I think the thing that might make it not so bad is that they do have a separate exit, so it's gonna be in the same way when you enter like Diagon Alley, how you like go through the brick wall and then you exit through like a different passageway. So like if it works there, then maybe it won't be so bad there, but it does mean a lot of like doubling back. Mm-hmm. Like it's not one continuous loop where when you enter one land, you can then access another land from inside that land. Once you enter the land, you then have to exit the land back into the hub and then go back into another one. So, you're making a conscious decision to enter that land versus like when you're doing islands, you're just doing the loop.
That is very true, yeah. I do want to say that this amount of detail is something that I don't think Universal has tackled really before, other than probably the Wizarding World. But the fact that that level is going to cascade throughout the entire park is absolutely crazy. Like in the past, people have kind of picked on Universal for being this park that relied on like screens and things to create a story. And it looks like from here on out, they're kind of throwing that away to become a park that relies on real, like things that are tangibly in front of you. So far, looking at the artwork of just the central hub, it seems like they're really like delivering on that whole idea. And I think that alone will put this over every other park in the Universal chain.
It is going to be completely cohesive, and at least that is being designed to be that way. You know, they have a very specific idea in mind for the entire property. It reminds me of how, like, when Disney did Animal Kingdom, they had something very specific in mind, and they've been able to keep that feel even years after it opened, versus, like, the Studios Park is, you know, a bit of a mess. Islands still has the central idea for the most part, but they've made a lot of changes. And it seems like these lands are, I imagine they're going to be here to stay for a long time. I can't imagine them, like, you know, redoing this in 10, 15 years.
No, I think if anything, they'll just add more.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be expansions to this.
They're already talking about them.
Yeah, I saw a thing. It was like Epic Universe has 12 new rides when it opens, which is actually more than when, like, Epcot first opened, when, like, Animal Kingdom first opened. They're gonna have to expand this in order to, like, keep capacity going, because there's gonna be so many guests, and, you know, the rides that are in here are gonna have long waits for sure when they open, especially if, like, there isn't an express system immediately. So you're gonna have to wait, so they're gonna have to add more to, you know, diversify the crowd, spread them out throughout the park.
Another thing that's really different with this park versus all the other parks in Orlando is, like, there are aspects to it, specifically the hub, that feel like a park.
Not a theme park.
Like a park. Like, it's so green and filled with trees and water, and, like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like how parts of Epcot, how you just have, like, all of these, like, big areas with water and flowers and greenery. Like, it looks like that.
Yeah. Well, and I'd also like to point out how cool the ground looks. Like, that's the level of detail we're talking about. They were not just using pavement or anything. They're just like, no, we're going to have these elaborate celestial designs. And I just think that's going to be incredible.
I imagine each land will have its own kind of feel.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we've talked about Epic Universe a lot, but I don't think we've ever actually addressed, like, what we're most excited for.
Yeah.
I would say Nintendo is probably the lowest because I've done it. I would probably say the one that is the top is the Dark Universe.
Yeah, I think so.
That is the one I'm most excited for.
Yeah, I think this would be so cool. It's the first time that I feel like a US theme park is really tackling, like, a kind of intense theme as, like, a full-fledged attraction. You know, we've certainly seen something like that at, like, Alton Towers and Thorpe Park, which, you know, is very popular with the guests, but the darker themes tend to stay for, like, the actual Halloween events, not something that is full-time you can experience all year round. And the attractions in this land, I think, are going to be really, really cool. I wish they were doing a year-round haunt in there, but...
I was going to say, it'd be silly if they don't. I think they probably will eventually, if not
maybe one day.
With the park.
They might just be worried about kids, trying to keep it family-friendly, which, I mean, certainly...
Yes, they're fine. There's plenty. They can go to the How to Train Your Dragon area and Nintendo.
Oh, it's going to be so good. Guys, How to Train Your Dragon is my favorite animated movie. The fact that they're doing this land is so cool.
It is.
Because, like, I've done a little land with this. Heide Park in Germany has a little How to Train Your Dragon land. And we're heading over to Dubai soon, and Motion Gate has, like, a How to Train Your Dragon area. So this is going to be that on a completely new scale, though. I'm excited to learn all the, like, official details. I'll see all the concept art for that land, as well as Dark Universe and stuff. Yeah, I would agree that Nintendo's probably the one that I'm, like, least excited for. But the Donkey Kong coaster, I think, is going to be really cool.
Yeah, and it's not
really
that we're not
intrigued for that.
excited. Like, it just, if I... Like, the order of operations here, I would probably go there last because I've already seen it. But if you haven't seen it before, it's probably like, holy crap, like, it's insane.
We were talking about this, like, what is going to be the most popular land at Epic Universe? I wouldn't be surprised if it's Nintendo.
It will be. It's so different than anything else, you know what I mean? Like, you can't find something like that at any other, like, brand of park.
Yeah. Which is funny, because this is the last Super Nintendo area opening of the big expansions. Actually, Singapore might be getting one, but, like, Hollywood got one right after Japan, and then... here we are getting one in Universal Orlando with Epic Universe, which is different from, I know originally they were looking at putting it, I guess where the new DreamWorks area is, in the Studios Park, but they're like, no, let's save it for Epic. So I think they made the right call.
Yeah, sure. And then the last one being the Wizarding World, which I feel like this one is the biggest question mark.
It's the most intriguing.
I don't know what the attraction is going to be. Like, I don't think it's very widely known about.
It seems like it's going to be something like Spider-Man, but... that's pretty much about it. Yeah. You know?
I don't know. When in the video they said, like, oh, we're not going to tell you because you just have to do it for yourself.
It seems like that's going to be, like, the ride of this park.
I know. I'm like, what the heck? I feel like it's going to, like, sneak up on us. Because everyone's talking about, like, the Monsters Dark Ride and, you know, like, the Donkey Kong coaster.
Well, and Starfall Racers. We got the official announcement for that.
Yeah.
Which, that looks incredible.
Oh, yeah. So, like, what the heck is going on inside the Wizarding World? Harry Potter, what's going on?
Yeah. I love each of the portals that they show for each of them. I think the Dark Universal one looks the best. All the rock work and everything, but I mean, they all look really, really cool. The hand holding up the wand for the Wizarding World. I think that this is gonna come true, but I really hope that you can't see the land until you pass through the portal. Like that they mask any sight lines from inside the hub. So the only other time that you'd be able to see it is maybe if you're riding like Starfall Racers.
Yeah.
Then you'd be able to see it. But you know, if
Guess
you're
we'll
on the
find out.
ground, that all you see is Celestial Park.
Absolutely. Well, I think we could talk about this all day, but we're not going to do that.
Well, and I imagine that as we get closer and closer, we'll probably do more videos like talking about Epic Universe. This is like the place to watch over the next
Oh my
year.
God, yeah.
So there you go, our initial reactions to Universal's official announcement with Epic Universe. Let us know what you thought of this concept art that was released. I know we didn't go into like super specific detail with everything. Go watch Alicia Stella's video. She'll have something up on Theme Park Stop about it if you want like the nitty gritty stuff.
Yeah, she's very nitty gritty, but
Yeah.
in an awesome way.
In the best way possible. Yeah, it's fantastic. So thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate your support here with Coaster Studios, and we'll see you next time.